I said, probably not very well. And she said, well, she'd like to do something to help them. And I asked her, well, if you were in Tohoku today and this happened, what would you need the most? And her answer was simple and pure. And it was, I would need someone to hug me, just hold me and make me feel less afraid. So eventually we made hugs through a project called Kids for Kids Cloth Letters. And I took those to Tohoku and worked with children, but never thinking that I would be making a film. And in fact, a lot of people found out that I was a filmmaker and asked me to make a film. Almost, some people begged me. And there is somebody here today that actually begged me. And I kept saying no because I didn't feel like I was from Tohoku. And I'm Canadian and not really Japanese. So it's sort of something that I'm not privileged to do until I walked into Fukushima and saw and felt how horrible those empty towns were, just devoid of all life, really, except for some birds singing. And I really felt a real sadness, like I had something to do with it too. So it was in that moment that I just turned on my little camera. And a lot of footage is really rough and raw, because I'm not a cameraman, a camera woman. But yeah, I decided then and there that I had a responsibility as a filmmaker to try to give voice to the people that were living through that. So a long time, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. And Kirk, as the cinematographer and producer of the film, first off, it's gorgeously shot, much of the footage. I'm wondering if you had any accessibility issues when you were actually down there, if there were areas that maybe were cut off that you couldn't access, and how you were able to shoot footage down there.
Well, one of the things that we did essentially was just travel the two of us. I mean, in a minute little camera, barely what you would call a movie camera, and either Linda would have the camera in a backpack on her bag, or I would be carrying the tripod, or vice versa. And the way we got access is because of the guides that we had, the people that we had. In every situation, there was someone who had gotten to know Linda and vice versa, and in that process wanted to help us, deeply help us make tell their stories in some way and get a message out to the rest of the world about their experience, about Japaneseness, about the issues that are brought up here, and so forth and so on. So it was out of that came the possibility to tell the stories. It's really, documentary filmmaking is always about access. And if you don't have that, if you don't have people guiding you, then you must go to fiction. Yeah.
I have to say that sometimes, well, there were no hotels, right? Because it was all like tsunami area, everything was destroyed. So there was no place to really stay. And I carried a small pup tent on my back, and sometimes, a lot of times slept in that. But a lot of the shooting, the rooms were so tiny. Some of the shooting was done in broom closet. And so you're this far away from the subject, and your camera can't move at all. So yeah, access was in that way very difficult.
Yeah, that. And it appears we have a couple of special guests here today. Maybe Linda, you'd like to announce their presence.
Well, before I do that, Cameron, can I do something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to acknowledge all the people here from home in Vancouver who really worked really hard volunteering to help me get through this. The 5 years was not exactly easy, and I couldn't have done it myself, really. And so as I call your names up to say thank you, I just want you up here just to acknowledge you. First of all, I have to thank my 3 daughters, Chris, Kim, and Caitlin. Without them, their understanding and their support, I wouldn't be here today. So you guys can come up. And my translators, yes. Without your family, you can't do very much. So family comes first. And then my translators, who worked about 5 or 6 months, 7 days a week, translating every single word from 82 different people that I interviewed for 2.5 years. So our translators, Emi Ito, please come up. Keiko, Kuniko, Kayoko, Takagi Sensei, don't be shy. I want everybody to know how much you put into this film, and as a volunteer. And our producers that came on board, our co-producers and his Kirk, and our associate producers, Adrian Levy, Johannes Halbertson, Mitsunori Nagao from Onomichi, Japan, please come up. And, sorry, I want to take the time to, I do want to take this time to just say thank you. So Jim from Mercer's Creative has taken over and just made me look good on the internet and on the website. Where's Jim? I'd like to thank him and Terry Mercer for Mercer's Creative. You have to come down, Jim. And Gary, who helped me in the editing, and also April. Can you both come down? And we have from Sharp Sound, Lori and Kelly. Lori and Kelly from Sharp Sounds in North Van, who did our wonderful sound mix. Dennis, who did our music, is coming on Friday. So, did I forget it? Elizabeth, my friend who sent me that article about the barber. So I had to go get my hair cut inside the no-go zone. And so to all of you, and if I missed any of you, I say I'm sorry, but really I thank all of you for volunteering to help me make this, because I didn't do it by myself. And this is only what you see in Vancouver. You should see the people in Japan. So thank you very much. And, okay. Now we'll get to our special guest. We have from Tohoku, Kanako Sasaki, the doctor who was swept away and saved all the lives. Kanako, please come down. And Sarah, her daughter. We didn't say that in the tsunami, Kanako, a tree hit her and she lost all her teeth at the top and bottom. We still doctored over 100 people that night in her wet clothes and everything without any medical supplies.
So now that everyone is up here, a lot more than I think we all expected, but the whole team, we can start opening up the Q&A to some of the audience members. If you guys have some questions, put your hands up. We've got a question just back there.
Thank you for this film, Linda. It's so beautiful and so moving. I wondered if you could talk about finding the structure for the film. I'm sure you have a great deal of footage, and you organized it in such an eloquent way by using the elements of air and water and earth. Can you talk about coming to that conclusion and how you
Well,
found the structure?
in a way, I'm an intuitive filmmaker, so I'm not that smart. I don't really think things through that that well, but I did do it. We had 82 people that we interviewed, so a lot of footage. But I went geographically from the north, from Kaneko's town, Otsuchi, down south to Fukushima. And sort of that kind of cut the way with a lot of advice from people like Gary and April. But your question reminds me of like how I work is just when it feels right, it feels right. When it feels wrong, I just keep trying. And two guys, I think they're here tonight, Tom and Razor. Where are you guys? Two of my interns from Emily Carr come down here. They stood by me and sat every day until whenever I had a problem. They know how I work. I don't understand computers. So it's always Razor, help me, or Tom, help me. And they're, young people are so brilliant at technology. And Razor's the one that did all our special effects and our titles and everything. It's just so beautiful. And did our trailer, the longer trailer that's on our website. Thank you, guys.
Do you have any more questions? Yeah, in the red back there.
Linda, thank you so much for this beautiful movie. And one of the things that I was so touched by is how you managed to capture and really show for people that might know the spirit of Gamate in Japan and kind of your attitude and your behavior is, it's the thing that people from around the world learn first about the tsunami because they were so amazed by the power and the spirit of Japanese people to take care of each other, and you so beautifully exemplified that in the film. So I'm so glad that you can be here for this opening. But Linda, I just think it's incredible that you could show this in so many different ways, not just with Kaneko, but also with the dancers, the singers, and the samurai. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And yes, she is remarkable.
Very beautiful, beautifully said.
The solidarity of the people is amazing, but I would like to know what the people need today.
Pardon me?
What do people need?
Oh, what do they need today?
The question is, what do people need to do today to help?
Well, I can let Sarah or Kaneko answer part of that, but Kaneko lives in a refugee camp situation like in Cassette still today in 2016 in her town because there's no housing for that many people. I think around 200,000 people still live in this condition after all these years. So, and the Olympics is happening, so all the attention and all the construction companies and money is going towards Tokyo now. And towns like hers are getting left behind. So I think they've got a few more years to wait. But,
皆さん今日はありがとうございました。5年経ってうちの町はうちが建てれる、人と建てれない人といます。とにかく皆さんがずっと思っててくれるっていうことがメッセージがうちの町に伝わることが世界中の人が思ってるっていうことを私は持ち帰っていきたいので、とにかく生きるっていうこと、自殺者をなくしたくないっていうこと、皆さんが東北のことを思ってくれてるっていうことを伝え続けてください。私たちも絶対元気になって皆さんが何かあった時に必ず復興して絶対皆さんを助けられる人間になりたいと思いますのでよろしくお願いします。
So we need just one thing. Just keep letting us know that you never forget about the day. There's just only one thing. And then we can look forward and we can keep going And if we can show the rebuild you, someday we can say that we did it. Yeah, that's the only one thing. Just keep let us know. Never forget about that day in the disaster.
And she also said, try in your own life to remember never to give up, whatever you're having to face. That take her and Tohoku as an example, that to live life with joy, don't live dwelling on the negative, but live appreciating all the positive things that you have around you. You're so lucky. And if you can do that, Kaneko says that her message has her message has been listened, yeah, right.
I think we have time for just one more question. There's one down here.
I want to ask Linda, what did you really enjoy about this project? Something that you really enjoyed?
So the question is, what did Linda really enjoy about doing this project?
Sarah says, Otsuchi, their town. I guess meeting so many people. I mean, you go into an area, I've never been in a war zone or disaster zone before in my life. So you get there and like you see nothing, everything's destroyed and it smells terrible. But you see, when you see and meet people, they're just full of life and so full of giving still. I mean, they've lost everything. And seeing that, I enjoyed the people. Yeah.
Apparently we're running out of time, so I want to thank you all for sharing with us what's been an amazing journey. And there's still a journey to come, and that's what I was starting to talk about at the beginning, and that's Linda is taking this film on a journey in Japan. It's going to be shown in various little towns, big towns, universities, and so forth. And the whole point of these DVDs is that it's fundraising for that, and you can find them downstairs on the main floor. And you should also visit the website, because it has a lot of the stories about this film and the making of. And even there you can donate, so we can extract money from you in many different ways. But the most important thing is you can think of, I keep talking, okay. But the most important thing is that this film is very controversial in Japan. It's a very different film from what we experience here in Vancouver. The voices of these women talking, the voices of people criticizing the government and so forth is quite controversial. Here we have our little sales team getting ready. And they're great. Wonderful. Linda mentioned the Olympics. What's going on in Japan is that, of course, everything's fixed, everything's fine. All of these people are just fine, thank you very much. Fukushima has been taken care of, etc., etc. So when this film makes its journey in Japan, the voice of all the people who are in it speak to the contrary. So help Linda get this on the road. Thank you. Oh yes,
Can I just finish, say something before I forget? I think I would like everybody just to really feel in your heart and applaud the people left in Tohoku today that aren't here with us today. Like Jushi, the little boy, he's not well, and he would love to be here. He asked me one day, if I come, can I wear a tuxedo, or do I have to wear a tuxedo? You know, he's such a cute boy. And we have two boys here from Onamichi that are the same age as what Jushi is today. So please applaud all those people for their courage and give them some energy to carry on.
And don't forget to vote.
皆さん 今日の映画を見ていろんなこと感じたと思います。どんなことあっても絶対諦めないでください。そして今日お帰りになったら皆さんの大事な人に今日感じたことを伝えてあげてください。よろしくお願いします。Thank you.
So she just wanted to say that it is important to never forget. It is important things, and please tell this story to your neighbors and precious people, especially family. So don't forget and never give up. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming today. The film will be screened once more in a few days on October 7th. Thank you, Linda, for bringing it for us.
Thank you to VIFF and Cameron. Thank you.